Hello. Today I wanted to talk to you about some forest management practices. I'm back on this 80 acres in Indiana County. I'm almost finished with it and just wanted to talk to you a little bit about difference between management and diameter limit cutting. This landowner is, I think in his early 80s. He's owned his property his entire life. He has cut it once before, many years ago, and he's cutting it again. And he wants to cut it 14 inches diameter chest high, which we call DBH, diameter breast high, and larger. Now, if you cut it that hard, you're not going to cut your timber again for 30, 50 years. That is diameter limit cutting. You can go 14, 16, 18, whatever diameter you want. Usually it's even increments for whatever reason. If this was my property and I really didn't need the money for an emergency but wanted to be a good steward of my land, I would do a management cut. And what I would do is go through the woods, take out all the dead, defective, anything that's dying right now, and get it all out of there where I can get some money for it right now. Cut out junk species, beech, birch, hickory, elm, things like that that aren't worth a whole lot of money. And I wouldn't get as much money as I could right now, but in the long run, it benefits the health and growth of your forest. And that's what I would do. And then I'd come back in 10 to 15 years and harvest the really nice stuff. And hopefully it has grown by then and would give me a good income. But Mr. Landowner here, like I said, he's in his 80s. He will never cut it again in his lifetime, and he wants as much money as he can get. That's why we live in America. That's why it's the land of the free, home of the brave. And he can get as much money as he wants for it right now. And he can do with what he wants. He worked hard all his life. He's farmed. So why shouldn't he? This timber will grow back someday for his grandkids, and they can cut it. So there's lots of reasons why people cut their timber. The main reason usually is money motivated. But just don't let anybody fool you. There's a lot of timber buyers who are not so honest, and what they do is they'll come in and they'll tell you, oh, we're going to select cut it at 14 inches and up. First of all, that's not a select cut. That's a diameter limit cut. Big difference. Then they'll tell you, you'll cut it again in 10 years. Okay? Well, that gets in the landowner's head. Someone like me comes along who's honest with them and says, and they say, well, so-and-so told me if I cut it 14 inches, and I'm like, no, you won't cut your woods again for 30 to 50 years. And, money talks. They don't want to believe you. And so they'll do the diameter limit cut. Then they call you back in 10 years, and you're like, there's nothing here. It's all junk. What is big is the junk that they didn't want, and they left. So just use your head a little when you're selling your timber, and watch out for timber buyers. I've been one my entire life, and I've been around, and I know what these guys do. And most of them, to be honest with you, you cannot trust. I never operated that way because I treat people the way I want to be treated. And I've lost timber from being honest because they want to believe Mr. Joe Schmo over here who has a silver tongue and is telling them all kind of lies. So, but I've also gotten timber from my honesty because people have gone with me because they know they could trust me. So anyway, just read up before you sell your timber, and find out a little bit about what you're doing and make a wise decision. All right, this is Lisa. Thanks for watching.